Have you noticed that when faced with a decision, opportunity, change, our minds are obsessed with making one stop first? We make a stop at everything that could go wrong. Without realizing it, our minds have become addicted, well-trained, and incredibly loyal to thinking in this one-sided way. It started with us telling ourselves that we were planning, telling ourselves that we were trying to stay one step ahead. We came up with the perfect fail-safe plan to stay protected by calculating every possible thing that could go wrong. Every single thing. Except that's usually where it ends. It wasn't the first step. There were no other steps at all. You didn't move forward. You didn't move anywhere. Since you succeeded at gathering every possible detail you should fear, you walked away convinced that you stopped yourself before you made a terrible mistake. But you missed one thing. Your planning, your imagination, your need for protection has become the danger itself. Don't believe every thought you think. How can you protect yourself? How can you help yourself when you always imagine the whole story in one way? Couldn't you better simulate your future using both of your eyes? If every future you imagine always goes back to what you could lose, to what you would regret, if you filled your head with details of what people would think, of what you couldn't undo, you are your biggest threat. Don't let yourself believe the lie that calculating every possible danger is something you do for you. It can't be for you if it's the only story you tell. If you go no further and give the same attention to the other side, this wasn't in your interest at all. Let's start a new practice. Let's engender a new habit. Let's rise above our impulses and teach our thoughts to travel in a completely different order. We all have a need to self-preserve, but don't roam the complications, the things you feel you should be afraid of, without first having imagined and immersed yourself in all the ways your choices could succeed. Ask yourself to imagine as concretely as you have imagined the bad. Every fruitful, fulfilling outcome, accomplishment, moment, conversation, relief, exhilaration that can follow. Let your imagination be loyal and committed instead to only what serves you. Be biased in order to help you thrive, to become brave, to enable everything within you to go full force. If we used the best of our imaginations for generating details of our successes rather than what we are convinced will destroy us, our actions and our lives would be radically changed. Before you let your need to self-preserve take over, put every bit of you in the struggle to be as creative with imagining the futures where you are overjoyed that you made this choice, where the pieces fell in the exact places where fortune rewarded your boldness, your belief, your strength. Remind yourself that being obsessed with what could go wrong goes beyond self-preservation, because nothing will preserve you that is so obsessed with imagining, constructing in only one way. Physics tells us that anything out of balance will always self-destruct. Don't let it be your life. Train your biased imagination. Tone your biased imagination. Catch yourself. Be changed.